Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So it has been a while. I have been gone for a little bit of time and I honestly think it was needed. I have had a little bit of a rest from a lot of things recently and I just wanted to come back better than ever, although I'm not really feeling very well, so I don't really know how that's working out. Is this focused? Am I just like, let me check one sec. So I am back with quite an important video. I feel like now is the time of the year that everyone is very much starting to prep for university, and I know a lot of my videos that have been helpful to you guys have mainly been the university videos where I give you insight and advice based on my experience at university. Today I'm here with a very specific video. So if you are moving to university in September and you are specifically going to be moving to Birmingham for university, then this video, well, I mean, it might be of great use to you because this is the sort of video I honestly wish I had when I was about to move to university, and that is why I create these videos, because this is the sort of thing I was looking for and I would have really appreciated at the time, but it just wasn't this sort of video out there that was this specific. As you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be giving you my truth and honest opinion of me living at New Bagot Accommodation in Birmingham. Now, it's probably been about a year since I moved out. It was around this time last year that I was definitely starting to pack my bags and leave. I actually ended up staying at New Bagot for 2 years. I definitely think this was based on convenience than anything else, because my time at Bagot was so interesting. Like, when I tell you, it was an absolute roller coaster. Like, the amount of horror stories, you just wouldn't even believe it, honestly. I did do a video about my experience at Bentley House, and that was my first year of university. My second year of university, I went to stay at New Bagot because I wanted to try something new. It was definitely more expensive than Bentley House at the time, but I wanted to, like I say, go for something new, see if it would be any better. I mean, the 2 years that I lived at Bagot, so my second year and my final year of university, I stayed in 2 different accommodation like rooms, and the 2 rooms were very different. So I did have very different experiences. I was in 2 different buildings for each year. I have made a long list of the pros and the cons of living at New Bagot Accommodation, and I thought I'd go through these because I think it is so different to actually hear the experience of somebody that actually lived there as a student, rather than the accommodation telling you all of the pros and what they want you to hear. These are the things you probably want to know if you're planning on moving there. Let's get straight into this video because I don't want it to be too long. I want it to be concise and I want you guys to actually gain information from this video that is actually like gold dust, because this could make or break whether you go to New Bagot or not. I'm gonna do a room tour of my Bagot room, which was my second year accommodation, because I did this for my Bentley accommodation and it seemed to help a lot of people out, so I thought I would do it for this room, which I stayed in, and I will review. But this is basically what I did last year, and just gave you guys a little tour of my actual room that I've stayed in. This is literally my last night here, so it's a little bit messy. Like, it looks very empty but like messy at the same time because I've got all my boxes literally everywhere. I'm gonna show you from the outside. So this is the main door when you come in. I think in this flat we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different people, and this is my room right here. I do have all of my stuff here, so apologies for that. But as you can see, it's quite a big walkway, quite a bit bigger than Bentley. So yeah, you just come through. You have a full-length mirror right here. You've also got like a little like coat rack kind of thing there, so you can hang up your bags, your coat. That's literally just the door right there. Yeah, so you come through. Over here, you've got like a little compartment area for space compartment, where I kind of just kept like books and laundry pods and stuff I kept over here. Got plug sockets here, which is quite useful, quite handy. And then just like, I don't know if Bentley had this actually, but here you've got your light switch, so right next to the bed, which is really nice. One thing this room doesn't have is the like heater switch right next to the bed. The heater is literally over there, but we'll get to that. On the left hand side you've got even more storage space, so it is open storage. You have like kind of larger storage on the bottom and then smaller on the top, and then all of this is kind of like that cork board kind of thing, so you can pin notes on it. It's quite useful during like exam season. Just don't mind my bits over there. This is the desk area. Just show you from far. Basically put your wires through here and then plug them in underneath there, just so they're like hidden. This is my bed area. There is actually storage underneath the bed when you lift up the mattress. It's quite obviously difficult to get to, so I didn't really end up keeping much underneath there, if I'm completely honest. I'd say the Bentley bed was probably more comfy than this, but this is the bed. And it's just kind of like, you know, like this. Then over here you've got like a bit of spaced area. I had my trunks right here, but I've obviously packed them away now. This is the heater. I'm not gonna lie guys, I actually had issues with the heater the first day I moved in. It just made a very like loud ticking noise, but I very quickly got that sorted. And yeah, to do the heater you literally just click that, and then it'll just get hot that way, but it's really hot in here already. The heater is quite powerful as well. And then over here just next to the desk you've got the wardrobe. So open wardrobe. Obviously haven't really got much in here right now because I've very much packed everything, but you have 3 of these kind of like quite big drawers, I would say, and then they just close with a soft touch like that. Obviously completely different to the wardrobe at Bentley because that was a closed door, but this is open. I actually ended up using this area for toiletries and things like that, so that was really useful. From the floor, I think I'm quite high up, to be completely honest. So this, I'll show you the full view that I get of the court. I always get the courtyard view. This is, you can't really see, can you? But maybe I'll open the window just to show you guys. So this is the view of the courtyard, and then basically over here, like here, just like a long canal, and there's always boats coming back and forth from there, which is like so pretty. And then you have a really cute view of the city just there. But I love that they're full length windows. I just think with a uni room, like any uni room really, I think that a full length window is so necessary, just to give it that not closed off vibe, because a lot of these uni accom rooms can be very boxy, you know, very small, so you want to feel like you're not, you know, you don't want to feel trapped. So I feel like having that full length window vibe just allows you to see, like, it just makes it sound like bloody prison, doesn't it? But it just allows you to just feel a bit more kind of like free and a bit more like you can see what's going on outside. Otherwise at times, guys, I'm not gonna lie, it can feel a bit boxy in here. But I'm gonna show you the bathroom now. So yeah, just open that up. This is the bathroom, just some toiletries which I am currently using. You've got a little air vent up there. Pretty standard bathroom, very big mirror. Shower, I would say, is very tiny, which I feel like all of them are pretty tiny. But then that's just uni accom view. And then I'll show you the kitchen. So this is my kitchen. As soon as you walk in, that's the door to come in. And then our kitchen is actually, guys, it is really big. We probably have one of the bigger kitchens in this accommodation, because I've been to other kitchens, and when I tell you they are half the size of this, they're very small. Sorry about all the packing stuff, but yeah, you basically get 2 sofas, you get a TV. This TV didn't have any Netflix or anything on it, and it isn't actually currently working. Heater just here, one window which you can open, and then you've got all of those windows. We've got your typical, you know, all your cupboards and everything. Pretty much did the same as Bentley, but I just have that sink, oven, recycling area, microwave. Everyone brought an air fryer with them, including myself. You have this storage cupboard. In here we have a massive fridge, and we have a small fridge, so 2 people share this, and then I think the other 3 share this fridge. I shared this fridge, and then if I just show you, I mean I can, small fridge, you know, you have your own compartments. I mean, I have this shelf here, half of this shelf, and then this drawer, and then any side bits. Don't ask me about this trolley, it kind of just ended up here. I think someone must have just brought it here. You also get a hoover and a mop, and yeah, you get a full like dining table as well, which is really nice. And then this is kind of like the view. I don't know if you can really see the view outside. I literally, when I tell you, I literally just went to, can you see down there? It's called Donuts and Chai. If you come to Bagot, maybe give it a go. It's so nice. You literally just drive in, you can even walk there, and yeah, they just serve really nice donuts and chai. Yeah, this is basically the Bagot, my Bagot kitchen. I would say as well is, even on the cooker, there's no markings to show you where to like turn the dial and like what each dial is. Like, it's fully rubbed off. I have been using my air fryer, so I haven't really used the oven, but when it did come to time of like me having to use the oven, just couldn't really figure it out. I'll just show you inside the cupboard. So the drawer space, like so, and then just in the cupboard like so. Obviously mine's empty now, and then up there I've still got bits in there, but that is that. I also have a whiteboard in here, actually. I forgot to say that. Got a whiteboard. Guys, we never used this, can I just say. We probably used it like once or twice, and then we just didn't. That is my Bagot 2024 kitchen. I think let's start off with the cons, because let's get these bits over and done with first, and then we can go on to the pros to end the video nicely. Now, my main con. So I moved in to new Bagot accommodation in 2024, okay? So this was my 2nd year of university. I was so excited to move in because I had heard pretty like okay things about the accommodation. It was supposed to be the more modern accommodation, the rooms were supposed to be nicer, and it was just supposed to be like where it was all at. So we travelled for, I want to say, 4 hours that day from home up to Birmingham, and I was so excited, had all my stuff in the back of the car, and I was just ready to move in. Like, I wanted to move all my stuff in, clean my kitchen, go and get my food shop and move it in. Guys, when I tell you, this was the biggest horror story ever. Like, I just couldn't believe my eyes, honestly. So moved in, went up to go have a look at the room. Guys, when I tell you, the whole flat had not been cleaned. You walk in, I'll insert a picture here if I can. Walked in, there were rubbish bags literally in the corridor spilling out. There were flies in the kitchen, there were mouldy pans and plates in the sink. I hadn't even got into my bedroom yet. Went into the room and it just stank. The toilet hadn't been clean. The floor was sticky. Like, it was just not the one. The door handle was broken, especially knowing that I had paid so much, even just for the deposit alone, and knowing that we had traveled so far as well, and my room just wasn't even ready. It was also an afternoon slot because it was so busy. There wasn't even enough time really for them to even clean the room, and they even said to us, they were like, we can try and clean the room, but we can't promise that it's going to be ready. And we were like, even in the fridge in the kitchen, the fridge was full of like gone off food, like sour milk. Like it was so bad. Like worst first experience of this accommodation that I had such high hopes for. So that really was a big con for me. It's a long story, but in the end I didn't have that room. I swapped with a girl that had that room the year before, and she wanted her room back, but she had been put in a different room, and she was like, oh, if you want to swap, we can swap. So I actually ended up swapping with another girl, and her room was clean, and she was okay with just getting her room sorted because she knew that that was her room from the year before. But when I tell you, I was so upset. I thought that was quite poor management, considering it's moving in weekend. Like you have so many students that are moving from so far away, and they're making that journey up. Like the least you can do is have the room clean and ready to go. As well, with my second year, it was very much out of control. That was actually the year that around Halloween time we had people come into the reception literally on Halloween night when everybody was going out, and let off fireworks in the reception. Now that is honestly not funny, and although it was definitely like broadcasted all over social media and became this like funny thing, it was actually so serious, because it was like people were getting chased into the corridors with fireworks, and we had to like run up the stairs because people were literally like chasing after people with fireworks and letting them off. Like there was no security that were really playing a big part. And I understand that obviously it was definitely like there was a lot of people involved, but as a student accommodation there should have been more measures put in place to keep us all safe as residents of that student accommodation. The accommodation I had, I was very high up. I think I was like 8th floor. Now they had 2 lifts in the building. One of them was just out of order, like the whole year. It didn't work at all, and no one came out to sort it. The second lift was so on and off, like, but a lot of the time it just wasn't working at all. And so that then meant that we had to take the stairs up to like the 8th or even 10th floor, up and down. Like that was hectic, because when you've got a big food shop and you want to take your food upstairs and downstairs, it was just a lot to come up and down when you're so high up. And considering there were 2 lifts and nothing was done about the lifts for months on end, was insane. For my 3rd year of university, so my 2nd year at Bagot, I requested to be in the different buildings, the opposite building, because apparently the lifts in there were working just fine. The 2nd year, I definitely found that there were a lot of times where we didn't really feel too safe. Like there was a lot of times when I did just have to take myself out of my student accommodation. There were weeks where I wasn't there because I either went home because I wasn't feeling too safe, because I was just like, this is not okay, like this is not normal. And nothing was really being done at the time when I really think about it, which is even worse. But the rooms themselves, it was definitely more modern than Bentley. I would say that it was just a whole different feel. I loved my room personally because of what I made it. So in my final year, I'm now just going to talk about my final year because I feel like it makes more sense, it was most recent. So my final year of university, I loved my room. It was so big. The bathroom was standard. Like the shower was definitely small. The pressure of the shower was okay. I mean, yeah, I'd say it was fine. One thing I would say is that the temperature of the water was on and off. Like there would be times where the water would just be cold and we'd have cold water, and then they send out an email, which wasn't the best. So do watch out for that, because I mean that never happened at Bentley, but when I was at Bagot that was something that happened maybe once or twice. The major con was definitely the parcel collection. So basically you've got New Bagot, which was the more modern building, which was the one that I had selected, and then opposite you've got Old Bagot, which is, I think they're part of the same thing. I really don't know, but they must be, because in terms of parcel collection, that was a whole nightmare. Because if you'd order a parcel and you go collect it from New Bagot, which is my building that I am living in, so I assumed that, okay, I'm going to collect my parcel from here, they would just be like back and forth, and they'd be like, oh, your parcel's not in this building, so you're gonna have to go like across the road. So you go across the road and they say no, we don't have your parcel, they should have it across the road. And it was just this back and forth all the time about my parcel collection, which was just not ideal. And then even things like free prints, I remember like I'd go so many times to go collect my free prints and they'd say no, sorry, we don't have it, we don't have it, we don't have it. And then once I went to go collect my free prints and they had a whole stack, once they'd say to me, oh, we don't have it, then I'd reorder another one and go collect it and they wouldn't have it. And so this whole one time I went over, they gave me this whole big stack of free prints that they basically just had never given to me. So I'd say as well, like a big thing that I noticed was obviously at Bentley House, it definitely felt more homely. It felt like you knew the staff and the staff were definitely more involved, and you'd get freebies. Like they'd have so many like freebies every week, like as you come in, like all of that kind of stuff, which I personally think makes or breaks an experience for feeling at home at university. Now I would say with New Bagot, it wasn't really that, like it really wasn't that. So it's definitely more catered to people that are maybe in their second or third year of university, because in terms of first year, I don't know, it didn't really give me that vibe of like homeliness and, you know, we're all in this together. It definitely did not give that, but it's still a nice accommodation-ish. Now let's go on to the pros, because I don't want to talk just negative about this place, because there are obviously pros and cons to everything. So I'd say definitely a very modern accommodation. It's as modern as it's going to get around that area. I would say the city views are just beautiful. Like I personally love a city view, and as I say, floor to ceiling windows on my thing, and there was a lot of that there. I'd say the kitchens are definitely bigger than Bentley. I don't know really, I do think that that varies though, because I went to other people's kitchens and of course that did vary. There were smaller kitchens, mine just happened to be one of the bigger ones. I would say that it's very convenient because you have Tesco's literally right downstairs. If you are craving anything, or you just want a movie night and you just want to get some snacks, you can just walk downstairs and you will be at Tesco's. Aldi is also literally like a 15-minute walk away, which was so convenient. That's where I'd mainly get my food shop from, and then Tesco's would be anything that I kind of wanted which was branded. New Bagot is literally a 15-minute walk away from university, so that would be Aston University and then BCU. So very simple walk there and back. Like that side of things is very convenient. I would say that the building has quite a nice gym and social space. So you have the gym, which is way better than Bentley House because there's just more equipment there. It's all life fitness machines, which are pretty good machines, and that was really nice because when there were a lot of times in my final year where I was just so stressed out, I'd be waking up so early and just heading down to that gym, and it was just nice and just felt really great, to be honest. So I would definitely say the gym is a big pro for moving to New Bagot. Even the laundry room, like, it was quite spacious. It would even show you on the laundry app like whether the machines were busy. You can reserve your machine, so that was really useful because it was a big time saver as well when it came to laundry. There was a lot of space to sit down and do your work. Like, if you don't want to work in your room, you can definitely meet up with friends and like work in the working space, because there was a lot of that. We also had meeting rooms which you could book, and I did actually do that in my final year. I probably booked it like twice, so you can book it out for like 2 hours or whatever it is, and that was really convenient because, as I say, like, if you don't want to be in your room, you want to be away from your room, but you also don't want to go to university to work. It's just a great space to just book and do your work in there. And then yeah, there was a lot of that which I feel like Bentley House didn't really have. It was less serious at Bentley House, and I feel like New Bagot had more facilities. They also had a cinema room. I feel like they really sell that when you're looking for your accommodations and you look at all of the pictures of New Bagot accommodation. The cinema is a big selling point, but I'm really surprised because actually the cinema, I did not like ever watch a movie in there, and I don't think there was ever really anything going on in the cinema room. There is a cinema, but I don't know if they will do any like sort of events there or anything, because there wasn't when I was there. My kitchen had a kettle and a toaster. if you guys did watch my Bentley House video, you would know that that accommodation did not come with a kettle or a toaster. The maintenance were pretty helpful. If you do have any sort of inconvenience, you can just log it online and they will come out to you as soon as possible. They were quite speedy with getting things done. Another thing would be that you're very much in the middle of everything, so you're a good walk away from town, you're a good walk away from university, you're a good walk away from Aldi. You also have donuts and chai. If you are at New Bagot, try out donuts and chai. Guys, I am going to bring this video to a close now. I do hope that you enjoyed the video, and I hope that it has been useful to at least 1 or 2 people, because as I say, I purely make these videos so that you have a better insight before you move to university, or even if you are at university and you're looking for your next accommodation. I really hope this video has helped you. Now, I would say it's a tricky one in terms of choosing between Bentley House and Bagot, because there were a lot of pros, a lot of cons of both, and I think that is definitely down to personal preference. I think Bentley House is more of a first year accommodation. If you're in your first year, if you are moving into your first year, if you are waiting on your A-level results and you're like, look, I'm moving to Birmingham in September and I need to choose my accommodation, I would choose Bentley House. Now obviously it has been a few years since I was last at Bentley House, so things have probably changed since then, but from my personal experience, Bentley House for first years, I would rant and rave about that. So as I say, it's definitely down to personal preference, but I hope this video has helped at least 1 or 2 of you guys, and definitely let me know if you have any sort of questions, if you have any sort of videos that you might find useful as well, because I graduated from university, so I'm definitely on the other end of things where I have had those experiences. I've been in your position. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you very, very soon.